What did you just do?
Oh my God, Alan, we're getting ready to rock and roll.
Peeing.
Of
Peeing.
course, yeah, I
Yeah.
had to
Yeah.
because, well, guys, every once in a while, we're getting older, and Alan and I get ready to rock and roll. We got a bourbon ready to rock. We're going to have a great time helping everybody out a little bit. But let me tell you a story. So I was at I was at one of our mastermind groups here in Atlanta, and my man says, so I'm working with everybody across the world. I'm working with people from Europe. I'm working from people with Asia. I'm working from people with Canada. I'm working with people with Mexico. I'm working with people from Texas. And we're like, the Texas is another world. Oh, hell yeah, it is. We got Cashflow Mike on from San Antonio, Texas. And why do I know that Texas thinks that they're their own damn state? Because my son has moved there and I got to see that in full flavor. I'm like, holy shit, they do not think they're a part of us in the US.
Texas Republic.
Oh, I loved
They're
it.
going to save us all one of
Wait,
these days, I
but
think.
I will say one thing though. Yeah, I said he did say, he didn't. We actually said you should have said California because that can be its own state. I'm good with
100%.
that. But Texas, no, you got to bring them in. So we got Mike. We're going to be talking money. Who doesn't want to talk about money?
It's your favorite thing.
Money.
It's like your Oprah.
Woo!
My favorite things, just money.
You get money and you get money. You get money. Oprah, where was my money? I've actually seen one of Oprah's houses out of Napa. That is not fair because Oprah could give everybody a G6, and I just wanted to
I've
see
seen
that.
Oprah's house in Santa Barbara, Montecito
Yeah,
specifically.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it's like it's one of those things. Who's seen Oprah's houses? Everybody's seen Oprah's houses.
You know, I have an Oprah story. I'll have to tell you one of these days. He
Oh.
healed my wife.
There's no way.
Yes,
You
there
can't
is.
tell that story. You got to tell the story.
No,
Right, Mike's gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to hear about how your wife was healed by Oprah.
we were at a big event in Atlanta, and she was actually the guest, and she dropped $1 million on Morehouse College, and it was a big surprise. And my wife was almost 9 months pregnant, and all of a sudden the noise and the excitement and everything just was too much. And I'm like, oh, she's going to get sick. So my 9 month pregnant wife just blows through the back doors at this big black tie event, and I'm chasing after her, and I actually see there's some big guys outside the bathroom. Why are they standing so close to the bathroom? And they try to stop her, but there was no stopping my 9 month pregnant wife.
I don't care who the fuck you are. Oprah, you could be the king,
So
you could
at
be the
that
queen
point,
of England.
we
But
had
if you're a
no
9 month pregnant lady,
Yeah.
every lady would understand that girl needs to go to the
So
bathroom.
she's in the bathroom and she's washing her face. Oprah comes out of the stall and sees my wife, and she sees she's in pain, and she goes, "Are you okay?" And next thing you know, she's stroking her face. Of course, we were making jokes like, "Did Oprah wash her hands?" and that kind of thing. Out of the other stall comes Coretta Scott King, and the two of them are standing on either side of my wife, comforting her in this bathroom at this massive event where Oprah's the star of it, and she's dropping all this money on Morehouse College. And I'm like,
The best part of this story, everybody, if you have not been listening for the last 3.5 years, because the Small Business Safari has been rocking it, Judy is not an extrovert.
no,
Judy is not the one that you are going to see this happening to. So the fact that these two incredibly well-known ladies are helping her.
figure stroking her face and just making sure that she's okay.
Oh, come on, Mike.
Is
What do you think of that one?
Dude, hey, live from San Antonio. I feel like I'm jumping into something special here where you guys are just all over the place.
Now,
man.
Mike's
This is-
in from
Mike,
San Antonio.
This is the way it always is. We'll get you in here.
Yeah, we'll get you in a minute. All right. So, oh my God. I mean,
Is that not incredible?
honestly, you could say, "Oh, I don't like Oprah," or this or that, or the world that we're in with the politics and the bullshit that's going on out there, guys. But look, when you meet somebody like that, you got to give her due props. I mean, Oprah is a very special lady, and Coretta Scott King. I can promise you, being here from Atlanta, that's a very special
That was a
lady.
big deal.
Yeah.
That was a big night.
And
they didn't need to do it, and they could have been like, "Oh,
and
get away."
they showed their
Yeah.
true. They showed their true
Humanity.
people. That's
Yep.
right, 100%.
Loved it.
And I think that's the part that we don't all get, that maybe we're a little closer together than we think. This is not a political podcast. This is not a Let's Kumbaya podcast. This is a how the hell can I make some money in my small business podcast? Let's get it
Who
going.
could we talk to about finding hidden money?
I don't know. Who can we talk to?
Oh,
Let's go
there's
to
that
San
guy.
Antonio.
I know
Mike.
a guy. Yeah, I know a
Come
guy.
on. I've been calling him Money Mike. He goes, "No, early I'm cash.
I was calling him Magic Mike.
Yes, you were, big
Hey.
guy. That's another special thing that we're not going to talk about, and we're not doing any stroking. All right, let's get back to this.
What's
This
Mike
is
going to
the
do with
most,
that?
I've got to tell you what, this is the most incredible opening to a podcast I've ever been part of, right? So you guys are bringing the heat, man. I can feel my blood racing through my veins right now just listening to you.
Well,
Mike, let's get pumped up, Mike.
You're from Texas.
Let's go, man.
We had to bring
There
him.
you go.
He's from Texas.
We got to bring the
We
heat.
had to bring him.
Don't mess with Texas.
Hey, don't mess with Texas, right? Don't mess with us.
I love it. All right, Mike, welcome to the show. All right, man, tell us a little bit about who you are, what you do.
Yeah, so it's interesting, right? So I'm Cashflow Mike, and I find hidden cash in businesses. I'm actually training a lot of advisors right now to help their businesses. I'm on a mission to eliminate cash flow as the reason that businesses fail. So think about that, right? I'm on a mission to do that, and the way I do it is through a program I built called the Clear Path to Cash. Anybody can do it. I mean, I'm a former state trooper, and I finally learned math, and so now I can actually teach others how to understand it as well.
Let's talk about this a little bit more because we've talked about this often. And this month, this year, this summer, we've got a intern at our place here at the Trusted Toolbox, Lovin' Luke, which goes by Lukey Bear. Can't get into that.
I'm not going to touch that.
But because our IT guy, it's his stepson, and they had to set up his computer, and his daughter thought it'd be funny if she could set up her brother's computer, and so we saw it. We came up and like, hey, Lukey Bear, how about doing that in front of like 15 handyman and 5 project managers in the construction world? And his computer pulled up Lukey Bear. Oh, this kid's got it going on. But he owned it. It was good. All right, so let's get back to this.
Can we talk about our guest?
No, we're getting back to Lukey Bear. So
Okay.
but I was telling him, he wanted to know, he goes, Chris, is there any way you could tell me a little bit more about, business and what should I be looking for? I said, look, here's the one thing they're not going to tell you in college, man. Cash is king. Revenue drives your business. Revenue looks like this. You got to have sales, man. I said, that's why I get out there and hump it and sell every single time I can. That's why I train my estimators. That's why you always hear me yelling at them about sales. I said, but cash is king. And if you don't have the cash, you can't do a lot of things. So let's talk cash, man.
I want to know, before we talk
cash,
how on earth do you go from being a state trooper in the Republic of Texas to being Magic Mike, the Cash King?
It
Or
is
what?
super. Yeah,
Cashflow Mike.
yeah, there
He's
you go.
not dancing for money.
It is
Put those
super
dollar bills
easy.
away, Alan, right now. No.
Yes.
Hey, it's super easy. Here's how it happens. Your family outgrows your income.
Yeah.
Necessity.
There you go. Yeah, it's a mother
And
of all
yet
inventions.
another
right?
entrepreneur is extruded from society.
That's right.
There you go.
Every entrepreneur built out of necessity. All right, so you built this thing, but tell us how you got this idea. Where did you see this? Because it sounds easy, but we all know it ain't.
Well, I mean, first of all, you have to follow the worst path in the world and start 14 businesses and take second mortgages out on your house and max your credit cards and fight with your wife and all those things first. So you got to do that for about 14, 15 years before you figure out cash flow.
I'm on
Okay,
17.
Check. Okay.
17.
Right. So yeah, so you're on the back end of it. I mean, you're already past all of that now. So
I have, but
you're on the good
barely.
end. But really, that's what happened. I was in the National Guard as well. So, I mean, I did 16 years in the National Guard. So the two skills I had coming into the entrepreneurial world was, well, being a police officer and being in the Army. Neither one of those really translate to civilian world. So what happens is you learn how to clean in both of those jobs, right? In the barracks and in the police academy, and then all the barracks at the Army as well. So I built a janitorial company that quickly became a hotel staffing company. You're like, going, wait, how'd that happen?
Right.
Yeah, I had this knack for recruiting, right? Because I had a connection with the parole office in the janitorial company. And I mean, this is, true how it happened. So I had a client that went and became a hotel manager and says, hey, I can't hire you as a cleaning company, but how can I recruit? How can I just get people from you? So I started just, offloading or offshoring, not offshoring. It's what's that called? Staffing, right? Temporary staffing into the hotel. We were providing heart of the house positions such as housekeeping, housemen, landscapers, people that did the dishes and banquet serving, all these heart of the house positions. And that's how you quickly can grow is niche down into hotel staffing, but it's also how you can also run out of money. I had a phenomenon called growing broke, right? You ever heard of that?
Mm.
These-
I've heard this one,
yeah.
but no, but I haven't. Well, no, I lived it. Who am I
Yeah,
kidding?
talk about it.
Yeah, go.
Yeah. I mean, what growing broke is very simply you're so successful that you run out of money, right? So successful you run out of money. Because what had happened was Marriott got a hold of the business model that I had, and it was quite simple. I'm going to take away people's reasons not to go to work, right? So that's what I had going in my favor is that if somebody says I can't come to work because I don't have a babysitter, we had a list of 10 babysitters. If somebody said they had to take Uncle Joe to the doctor, you go to work, I'm going to take Uncle Joe to the doctor. So that's basically my whole business model was making sure people went to work because if you didn't go to work and get paid, neither did I, right? Based on the model that we had. Well, when you do that, Marriott picks up on it, and we opened 27 offices in 9 states in 3 years, right? And had a couple hundred people working for us every single day. And when you do that, Marriott tends to sit on your invoices, right? They'll sit on your invoices for 60 or 90 days.
Hmm.
And guess what happens on my side every 2 weeks?
You're paying.
Payroll comes out every 2 weeks. So that's how you run into a cash crunch real fast. So when I learned about cash flow was right there when I'm stressed out, when I don't know if I'm going to make payroll, I'm not paying myself, right? And that was all during the early 2000s. So how did I solve it? Well, I actually spoke with the bank and learned this thing called the financial gap. It's the difference between money coming in versus money going out. And the smaller the gap between those two, the less money it takes to run your business, right? And that's what your working capital is supposed to cover, right? Is that gap. Well, nobody ever tells you that that's what it's for. They just said you have so much working capital. They don't tell you how much you need. They just tell you how much you have. So once I figured out an equation to be able to come up with how much I need, it made it a lot simpler because I knew I could pull some levers like reduce payroll or reduce the amount of time it took me to get paid. And that actually made the gap smaller, right? Well, with that in mind, I bought a restaurant because I was getting paid in 90 days at some point in time with Marriott. I bought a restaurant because I could get money coming in every
No,
single day.
I was
let
gonna
me
say,
tell you why.
you're
Because you're a
insane.
masochist. You're
Yeah.
fucking crazy.
Oh, yeah.
You're
Dude,
insane. Not only did he say he was in the army, but he's also a policeman. Thank you for your service. But oh my God, you're insane, bro. You started a restaurant business. Got to tell me why.
yeah, because it was a cash-based business, and not only that, it worked, right? So I found this poorly
You
managed.
get your money that day.
Yeah, but
Get the money
still,
that day.
It's not a net 90, net 60.
dude.
It worked so well that I built a restaurant, then I bought a building with a restaurant in it, then I bought 9 more buildings, apartment buildings, and all 3 of those worked. All 5 of those now, property management, 3-bar restaurants, and a hotel staffing company worked at once because I could take the housekeepers out of the hotel, clean the apartments. I had a 2-man repair crew for the apartments that also fixed the restaurants. And then I had the same POS, ran it like a franchise, these 3 restaurants all together. And I'm telling you, it was working. It was beautiful.
You have a beautiful mind because that's a lot of work. I'm just a handyman. And this is even for me, I'm like, wow, he built something. He saw something early.
I felt like there was a butt coming now.
Is there a but?
Uh, yeah,
Is there?
yeah. The but is that's how I solved the problem. But the but was you can't scale it, and
Mm.
you're going to burn out fast. I think about 3 to 4 years in a restaurant business of owning 3 of them at a time is all I could stand. I was burnt out. The only way to scale a restaurant is open another restaurant. The only way to, scale a hotel staffing company is go get more hotels and open more offices. So, and the only way to scale apartments is buy more real estate. So it's one of those things where I was stuck in my own trap.
But I mean, isn't that the definition of scaling? I mean,
Well, I think that yeah, that's the traditional norm,
yeah.
right? So,
What are we missing here, Mike?
Mike, help me.
This
Money,
was
Mike, cash
2012.
flow,
Yeah,
Mike.
this is 2012, right? What was
Oh,
happening around 2012? All of the
I was
internet
still
commerce was
hungover.
starting,
Oh.
right? All the internet commerce was starting, right? Because the bankers had already burnt down the world, which made it harder for me to get money. It,
Mhm.
that's
I,
true.
yeah, I saw Chris's face go, "What?" Like, yeah, in 2008, the bankers burnt down the world. It
No,
made
I
it
was
harder,
a
right?
banker and started this in 2008.
Well, then you know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Because I
Yeah, we burned down
graduate
the
school in
building.
banking. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry, I
No, yeah, no, you're right. No, you're right. There was no money to be found. So here we go.
Gee, thanks, Chris.
yeah,
Banker.
Chris. Yeah. So Chris got Dodd-Frank passed.
Chris burnt down the world, and now here he is hiding out in his basement doing a podcast.
That's what I do now. If I had on my pocket, I'm in my basement. I know, drinking bourbon with my buddy. I don't want to come out, Mom. Don't make give me some lasagna, Mom. All right, let's get back to Mike. Lasagna. All right. So I obviously I crushed your dream, Mike, and I apologize.
You didn't crush my you didn't crush my dream. You actually made it better, right?
All
And
right, let's
I'll tell you
talk.
why.
Don't let him out, Mike.
I'm not letting him out because there's a moral.
I have none.
It's after there you go. There you go. So after 2008, the banks left the space because it was just as expensive to do a $50,000 loan as it was a $5 million loan because they had to do the same amount of paperwork. So they all went upstream.
Mm-hmm.
That gave rise to alternative and marketplace lenders. So Cabbage and On Deck and all these Lending Club, Lendio, all these places started popping up to be able to give small business loans. Well, they exploded because small businesses gravitated towards them. Well, I sold my company to a larger competitor in 2011. I was looking for something to scale. And like I said, e-commerce was kind of hot at the time, right? Amazon had already figured it out, how to do this stuff. So I wanted to get into software. Darn hard to get into software when you're a restaurateur, a trooper, a soldier, hotel staffing manager. I had no coding experience or whatever, but what I knew was how to finance small business. So I found a company in Seattle that was creating a product. It's called Finagraph that automated the data collection for banks, right, to make the process of lending to small businesses easier. And I'm going, hey, I should be able to get in there. So I pretty much begged these guys to let me into their company. And what I did was I was able to go talk to the banks about how to talk to the small business owner. So I built a program that I called How to Talk to Me, right? How to talk to the small business owner and build what they call relationship banking now, right? Which is getting involved because there's three big complaints that I think we all have about the bank. Do you know what they are? Small business owners have about the bank.
All right. No, hit us.
All right. So first one I call LOTO, LOTO, which is loan officer turnover. I feel like I got to tell the same story to a different guy every single week.
Right. Yep.
It's just like, and then he moves to a new bank and he tries to steal me and bring me over to his new bank with him, right? So it's all this turnover is chaos. I don't like that about the bank. The second thing I don't like the bank is that they never stop by, and the only time they stop by is to sell me something, like, "Oh, here's my new credit card offer of the week," or I had no vehicles on my balance sheet except for one to go to the restaurants and to the hotel. Mine. Why would you offer me fleet leasing? Right? So they're not paying attention to my business, right? They're just trying to sell me whatever they're pushing that month. The last thing was they're dumb, D-U-M-B, not dumb as in unintelligent. It means I don't understand my business, right? They didn't understand my business.
Dumb.
That is
Think about it.
awesome.
I mean, could you?
Tim, I wish I would have said that back when I was at the bank. Oh, that's so good.
Yeah, right.
Understand your business, bro. Oh my God.
But Mike, he'll use it in one of his next
I wrote the book on
employee meetings.
oh
my God.
Good news is, oh, you already wrote the book. I can't steal that one. Well,
you'll steal it. You just won't publish it.
I'll steal it, and then I'll tell Alan, hey, Alan, let me tell you a stupid story. It's called Dumb. Mike has created a book. So he just flashed the book, man. Flash it again for us so we can all tell everybody this title, because I know you're all driving around in your trucks doing your thing.
Yeah,
get it going. Don't be a dumb D-U-M-B business owner. That's Mike Milan or Milan.
Yeah, it is. It was Milan. You're right. I mean, you're the first person that's ever got it right.
I got Milan right. How about that?
Yeah, I usually have to teach people a song to be able to remember it.
Right.
Let's hear it.
All right. This land is your land. This land is
my land. Don't be a dumb business owner now. Yeah, here we go.
Is that the craziest thing?
That's good. All right, Milan. All right, hit us. Keep going. So that's what bankers did, and so you were filling that gap.
Yeah. So, and we were trying to build trust, credibility, and authority as a big startup or a small startup at the time. A big startup. It's hard to get into a bank. You're not going to trust, these young guys. One guy's never been a banker, and the other two worked at Microsoft, right? And we did have somebody on the board that was a vice president at Bank of America, which I think that means he was the janitor, but branch manager.
Right.
He was bigger than that. But I mean, we didn't have a lot of name recognition. But through that seminar series, I caught the attention of the CEO at the Pacific Coast Banking School at the University of Washington. They asked me to come talk to the group. And from there, I got the reputation of being able to be a small business banking expert, believe it or not. So now I'm on the graduate school of banking faculty at at Colorado, University of Colorado, and I spent 5 years at the at LSU, at Louisiana State University, at the graduate school of banking.
Yeah. Hey, about that, huh? Come on now, go by you.
Huh?
That's where Troy's from, my buddy. We
Hey,
talk about him. He'll never listen to this fucking thing, so it doesn't matter. And I
well,
shouldn't give him any shout outs. Who cares? He's just a judge.
yeah, that's a big deal. Judges
Well,
are
he's
big.
kind of a big deal, but he'll never listen to this podcast because
Yeah.
he thinks he's above small business. But he is a Bayou Bengal. So, all
Your
right.
phone rings tonight.
I know.
So I was
Della,
listening.
make it ring. Della, tell him that I just talked about Troy on my podcast, and I am pissed that he went on somebody else's podcast before he ever went
He
on mine.
did?
He did, Alan.
What a traitor.
Yeah, and you know what?
He's I'm your best friend.
And you know what? He's coming into town, and I got some great tickets. We're going to the Braves, and a lot of us going to the suite. You know where he's going?
I hope in the nosebleeds.
He is. I'm putting him way up there in the
Good.
third deck now because he pissed me off. I can't believe he went on somebody else's podcast before mine.
Mm.
I'm so mad.
He's probably still celebrating the national championship.
Yeah, so they just the football one, the double championship football, but they also just recently won baseball, which is yes, he is definitely still celebrating that one because that counts.
Yeah, it does.
It does. It was actually a good one. If you didn't watch that,
I
but-
didn't. No, the College World Series was great though.
It was.
Yeah.
Oh, Coastal Carolina, I am a huge fan of that dude.
Well,
man.
Oregon State. I mean, the fact that a rainy state has a 3-time national champion and they made it deep again is unbelievable.
Yeah, I tell you, college baseball is a lot of fun because you get to see you see true passion, which is again back to business. Let's talk about this because it'll all tie back. True passion, you get to see true fallibility. I mean, these guys. I mean, I watched a guy drop a fly ball that no pro leaguer would have ever done, but it happened, and it let a guy come in. Another guy lost. He came in for what it would have been an amazing catch in any level. He missed it. His team got bounced, Arkansas.
Mm.
And he is sitting out there inconsolable in right field, wouldn't even come off the field. They had to go out and get him. I mean, when you see that and everybody, especially in today's jaded world, we're all like, well, I can't believe he's doing that. I can't believe this guy's ripping his chest off and showing passion and showing experience and showing excitement. And then this kid is just absolutely crushed and people are out there just hating. I'm like, oh God, I love you haters because welcome to small business. We got tons of haters and we never get a chance to plant the flag and go, God, we just ripped off our shirt and go, we're the best ever. We just don't get that. So here we are running a small business. Nobody likes us.
You've taken your shirt off a lot on
I
social
do.
media.
Well, that's a different story. Back to Mike, shall we?
Yeah.
All right.
Hey,
All right.
but what you're saying is true, though, right? Whether you're ripping off your shirt or you're crying in the outfield, that's the thing you can't teach. You can teach somebody skill. You can't give them the heart. You
Yep.
can't teach them heart, right? So
Right.
that's an important entrepreneur skill.
Yeah, you hire for heart, in my opinion. Hire for that character and teach them the skills.
Starting that business, though, you got to have it. And I think that passion that I watched with these kids, especially in the College World Series, was so much fun. And it's just different than the in Major League Baseball. You know, I'm a big Braves fan, Tigers fan, Detroit and Atlanta, but these guys are at the pinnacle. And so in small business, we're not at the pinnacle, right? We're the small businesses, which, according to the U.S. Census, it's U.S. Bureau, it's 50 million and below. I'll take that.
You're well below that.
I'll take 50.
Yeah.
I get 50.
Yeah.
I'm a tenth of that. So anyway,
Talk about your book a little bit. Dumb.
Well, I got 3 books, but I'll talk about this one.
Is
I'm super
that
bored,
your,
right? Like-
Is that your favorite one?
Alan, you just
No,
assumed
this
he
was
had
the-
one
this-
because you're sitting with guys just had one.
Yeah.
I just got one.
So this was the first one, right? Don't Be a Dumb Business Owner was the first one, and it's actually the foundation of my program called the Clear Path to Cash. It's 8 techniques to maximizing cash in a business, and it's written from a business owner's point of view, right? Even though I teach bankers and I work with accountants, that's written from my point of view on how we actually did it. Every time you read a textbook, it's about somebody's theory and concept and this type of stuff. This is actually what happened, right? It's stories that kind of back it up.
So you're teaching a principle through your experience.
Yeah, exactly right. But there's some math to it. And like I said earlier, I didn't understand math until I was a state trooper. Right. And people are like going, what does that mean?
I
Well,
still don't know what that means, but
all
okay.
right, so check this out, right? In high school, college, I've got an MBA from Baylor University here in Texas. You might have heard of them, Sick and Bears, right?
Hey,
Hmm.
Sick of Bears. That's where my son's going. Law school.
Is it really?
Very exciting. Yep.
Sick and Bears, right on, right
Yeah.
on. So, all right, so here's what I didn't do. I wasn't that great at math in school. It just wasn't clicking. They sent me to a school as a state trooper to this thing called Accident Reconstruction School, where they actually teach you either calculus or trigonometry or geometry to be able to calculate people's speed based on the evidence on the roadway, right? I mean, how
Mm.
far somebody skid, how slick the surface is. Hey, if they go down into a ditch and then launch and then take off into the air, what the ramp angle is, rise over run. As soon as they started talking to me about math in those terms, everything made sense. So I took what I learned from being a trooper and started going, oh, well, when I do this in business, these are the actions that represent X or Y or whatever it is. If you can connect it to something real that you do every single day, math comes to life.
That amen to that. I think that's where we're really failing people in school. We've talked about this before. Actually, we've been doing this podcast for 3.5 years, Alan, and
That's a lot of math.
that's a lot of math. But we'll go back to what we talked about. Trade schools. I mean, not against it. While I've got a son in law school, he was not built for the trades. But look back on it, I think if it was really put upon me, I probably would have gone that way because you learn a lot of applied mathematics when I worked in the machine shop and a lot of stuff. But it made engineering a lot more tangible and real. So when I was in school doing the theoretical stuff, yeah, I knew what it was like to machine or to put together a 120 circuit or a 240 circuit in electrical.
All right, math is boring. So,
I,
Mike, you're a state trooper. Come on, we got to get one good story. What's the dumbest thing you ever saw out there? Dumbest excuse that you had somebody give you, or the dumbest thing they ever did with a car?
All right. The dumbest thing about not is it the dumbest? Should I do the dumbest or should I do the most exciting?
yeah, most exciting.
Let's do two, one of each.
Oh, okay, go.
Yep.
All right. I'll start with the most exciting, right? Because this is one that I thought I was going to get into a lot of legal trouble for.
Starting
Right.
off good.
Yeah. So I'm working an overtime project. And because again, we didn't make that much money. So I volunteered for overtime projects, which is, I'm sitting there watching a construction site and somebody comes through and barrels through the barricades and, kind of, it's just the rubber ones, right? And he just knocks it over, goes in and out. I'm like, shit, he could kill somebody. So I pull him over. Uh, he's drunk. So,
Whoa, go
yeah,
figure.
so drunk, right? So you got to, so I take him into the headquarters, right? I take him to the Highway Patrol headquarters in St. Louis County at the time. You don't put people in jail for DWI, right? You don't put people in jail. You actually just let them go after you take the breathalyzer test and all that type of stuff. This person didn't have anybody to call. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. He didn't have anybody to call. So for an hour, I'm sitting there waiting for somebody to come pick this person up. I have to be there until they're released. Well, finally, my sergeant goes, hey, just take him home. So I put him in the patrol car, not under arrest. I'm just going to drive this person home. And as I go across the exit ramp and start to get down the highway, we're on, kind of the ramp coming down to the highway. They go, oh, I'm going to throw up. And I'm going, not my patrol car, right? Because I take my patrol car home. Like, you're not doing that. You're not throwing up in my patrol
I
car.
don't care if it's your patrol car. No, you do not. That's a hard no. You do not throw up in somebody else's car, son.
No. So I slam on the brakes, pull over to the shoulder, and I got these big blue shop towels, right, in the back. And I open the door. I reach across him, open the door, push him out, right? Just push him out the door so he gets out there because I have to clean it up if not. Well, I made the fatal error. We had this thing called an extender in the trunk, right? So every time a police officer gets out of the car, there's this little switch that you flip and it turns on the extender. Other than that, you get all this squeal and feedback inside the car with too many radios going at once.
Mm.
I didn't hit that switch. So I get out of the car, open up the trunk, and I'm trying to get the shop towels to go around and hand them, so they can wipe their face off. And guess what? Another car comes by, slams on its brakes, slides by my car, stops in front of me. It's a smaller car with a hatchback and two Rottweilers in the back just going crazy. These two dogs are just going crazy. So I've got a person that's drunk, puking out the side of a patrol car. Now I got this other person that jumps out of their car with two barking dogs coming back at me. Right? Like, oh, wait a second. So the person runs up to me and goes, "Hey, you got to help me. It's a bloodbath at my house." And I look at his hands. There's cuts all over his hands, and there's like, blood all over him. I said, "Hey, what do you mean?" He goes, "My wife. Somebody's got to go help my wife right now. It's a bloodbath." I said, "All right, I got to know where you live." So I asked him for his ID. He pulls out his wallet, and there's bills this thick in his wallet, just absolutely crazy amounts of money inside this wallet.
2 inches thick.
Yeah, 2, 3, whatever it'll fit, right? So there's so much money in here that I'm afraid to touch the wallet. I don't want to get involved with that. I'm like, "Oh, hey, just take your license out for me." So he takes his license out. I grab it and I put it in my pocket because he's acting so erratic and crazy. And I don't know. Again, his hands are cut up and he's just said his
Sure.
blood, right? So I'm like, "Hey, I'm gonna pat you down for a second." He says, "No, I got to go." So I said, "I just want to make sure that your wife's okay. I'm gonna call it in and have somebody go check on her. I just want to make sure that you and I are okay here." So I turn him around, have him put his hands on the back of his car. And as he does that, he spins and we're in a fight. You got to remember, I still got some regular person back behind me puking out the side of the patrol car. We end up kind of tussling over towards the barricade. There's a barricade where the outer road is and a fence. You guys have seen that. So you got the exit ramp, then there's some concrete and a fence. We're against this fence. And I see this guy starting to look at my weapon, my gun, right? He's looking down, looking down, looking down. I'm saying, "Oh no, we're going to that now." So I don't have a radio because remember, I didn't flip that switch. So
Right.
I didn't flip the switch, so I can't call anybody to come
You're
help
on your own.
on my own. So I just rear back and just punch him. Pow! Just punch him. And I go back to the car, flip the switch. He jumps in his car and takes off. So now I got the person's ID and all that, but now I think I've got
In your pocket.
I
Not
got
smart,
this
my friends.
murderer, right? I think I got a murderer who
Right. That's what I would think.
who went and grabbed all this cash and he's going to be on the run, but he felt bad all of a sudden, wanted to make sure his wife was okay. Well, I get back in the car. I still got the person puking in the back and pull them back inside the car. I say, "Hey, you okay?" And he goes, "Go get that son of a bitch." I said, "Buckle up."
He buckled up and off we went.
All right, so there's where I've committed a violation of general order, right? General order is like the rules. Like you don't get into a pursuit with a civilian in the car.
Happens in the movies.
Yeah.
I'd sign off on it.
Yeah.
I'd say, go get him. Go get him. Money, Mike. We're going to go take somebody down. Yeehaw!
Hey, 6
faster.
lanes, right? We're going across 6 lanes, just 6 lanes. He's weaving out of traffic. He's got so much stuff in the car, he's throwing it out the window. I mean, there's like a garden gnome. There's all kinds of just crazy stuff coming out. I'm dodging things behind him as we're going, 100 plus mile an hour down the interstate. It's 3 a.m. So there's not a lot of people, but one of the people hits the garden gnome, blows their tire, and they kind of go off on the side of the road. And I'm finally getting all the people around to shut down the interstate, right? We're shutting down the interstate. Cops are coming down backwards on the ramps to shut everything down. And we get them stopped, not on the shoulder. We get them stopped in lane 3 of 6.
Oh my God.
He just stops and sits. And now it's like going, okay, well, this might be, it's a standoff with this guy who I think killed his wife. We don't know what's going to happen next. And there's these 2 big dogs inside the car just going nuts, right? So,
oh my God.
Yeah, we get a team together. We go up, 3 on one side, 3 on another side of the car. I open the car door, pull this guy out and pull him out and shut it so the dogs don't get out. Right. So I got this guy on the ground. We finally get him in cuffs.
I love how you kind of chuckled. I'm like, holy shit. I'd be like, oh, I'm going to kill you.
Yeah. The person that's in the car, I say, "Hey, whenever this car stops, you just go and run. Just run to the side. I'll find you later. Just go run." So that's what they did. So we finally get this person in cuffs. I got him on the side. We're trying to clean it up. Got a tow truck coming to get the car. I mean, trying to figure out what to do with the dogs. And he's a veteran, right? He's a veteran. He'd been out for, I don't know, 5-10 years, something like that. But he'd spent the last 3 years in prison for armed robbery. And he had just gotten out, and his wife wasn't talking to him, right? Because we went to his wife's house, and she goes, no, I won't let him in the house. He's crazy. So wouldn't let him in the house. He all of a sudden goes nuts and wants to go somewhere and do something else. Well, I'm asking, why the hands? What's wrong with your hands? Because now I have to take him to the VA hospital for a psychiatric evaluation. And he says, you see that, you ever seen those on the side of the road, those black velvet paintings like dogs playing cards and Elvis?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
stuff? He had like 3 or 4 of these in the car.
Poker painters.
What is it?
I call them dog poker painters.
Oh, yeah. That's funny.
He got 2 Rottweilers and a bunch of velvet paintings in the car and bloody hands. This
And
is good.
Elvis. All right,
Yeah,
let's
and
go.
he said one of them stunk. One of them stunk so bad he couldn't stand it. He took a knife in the car while he was driving. And he was cutting up this thing and throwing it out the window, and he cut up his hands while he was doing it. Right? That's really what happened. He had the money because he didn't have a bank account because he'd been in jail for so long. He just took any cash that he made, he would cash his check, and that's why I had all the money. So there was no murder. There's no anything. He just had a psychotic break, right, and needed help. That's a crazy story, right? Because
That is a
then I get
crazy
called,
story.
yeah. Then I get called in front of the captain and everybody else, and I have to explain all this.
All right, so let's go back. So the original DUI guy, I'll bet you he's never driven drunk ever again.
Yeah,
There's
and
no way. Talk about scared straight. After that, I'd be like, dude, I ain't drinking and driving ever again.
don't you think he's also telling this story?
Oh yeah.
He is. He is telling the story, but he's like, I'm not doing that ever again because I'm not an adrenaline junkie. I just was drunk one night, probably had too many pops at the bar, blew it, and oh my god,
Yeah, he's probably right now on another podcast. There's 3.5 million podcasts. He's telling that story.
you know this one.
Yeah.
This one, I know the podcast this story should have been on, but we got to get back to business because that's a good business story. Actually, I feel like sometimes some of my days have been like that.
I think every day's like that for you.
It really is. I swear to God, I got Rottweilers. I have. Today I saw Chow Chow. I've got, oh, yeah, I can't name enough dogs. How about every time you walk up to a house, the next thing you know, as soon as you open the door, a big puff of weed comes out. You're like, yeah, this is going to be a good estimate. Okay, what are we looking at today in the house? Okay, this is going to be fun. All right, so Mike, tell us how to make some more money, find the cash. What can you do to help us all? Because we're coming to the end.
All right. So the first thing you got to do is you got to look at your business from 2 different directions, right? And I call it vertical and horizontal. And you're like, going, what does that mean? Well, vertical things are called cash generating activities. It starts with sales and you keep subtracting things out until they get to profit, right? That's vertical. It's easy to follow. I sold this much, I spent this much, and this is what's left over. The other part of that, though, is the timing of it. How long does it take for this to happen? Just because I recorded a sale, just because I recorded an expense, doesn't mean I paid the bill or got the money from the sale. So there's a horizontal piece that goes with it at the same time. So what I did was I created a calculation set and a visual that goes with it called mining your business for hidden cash. And by plugging in 9 numbers off the income statement and balance sheet, I can tell you where your biggest problem is in your company in minutes, right? And tell you exactly where it is to go find hidden cash. And I found over $150 million worth for clients in the past 3 years. Just for,
Good Lord.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and that's not increasing sales because I think this is where Chris and I differ. He goes, "Oh, revenue. You got to do revenue, revenue, revenue." Revenue to me is just a measurement of how much work you did. Gross profit is where you want to focus. Gross profit is the only cash you can get to spend on your operating expenses or your net profit.
I will agree there. I was just saying, I was explaining to him is that man, you can cash is king, but you can't save yourself down to the bottom, and you got to keep growing that engine, as long as your profit's good. But
Yeah.
profit, and especially in my world, is so hard to get. It's home services is a tough net. You know, I actually just got done talking with some other home service companies. But here's the cool thing: we all think everybody else is killing it. Oh my God, that guy's killing it. Oh, he's HVAC. He's killing it, which is, by the way, what I said. This HVAC guy here in Atlanta, he's the third biggest in Atlanta. I said, well, I know you're killing it. He goes, well, what's your net? And we shared our nets. And at the end of the day, man, none of us are over 10%. It's just not what it is. He goes, no. He goes, what do you think I'm doing? He goes, no. He goes, if I had to do it all over again, I said, if I had to do it all over again, I'd start an HVAC business. He goes, he said, I'm starting to figure out how to start a handyman business. I'm like, don't do that, brother. I said, I already figured that thing out. It sucks. No, it doesn't, but it's still, that's the thing. The grass is always greener, right? You've heard that phrase, and it's so trite, but the proof of the pudding is the same story. In home services, which is a great business, it's still a very hard business. And if you're in commercial real estate, where they're truly just killing it, which I know you are, Alan, you're killing it.
That's why I'm zooming in from my yacht.
That's right. But that's the problem. And so what he'll talk about is that, yeah, but it's feast or famine for me, right? I can go 6, 7, 8 months before I get a transaction and a paycheck. I'm like, oh no, I get a paycheck every 2 weeks. It's a little one, but it's there. So, Mike, I like how you're talking about this.
Mike, without telling people how the sausage is made, where are some of these areas where you're looking for the hidden cash?
Well, I mean, I'll just tell you the six calculations. It's sales to assets ratio, and everybody's like, "What? I've never done a sales to assets ratio." Well, what that tells you is how much should you be, generating with your stuff, right? You're already currently doing something, so if you're doing that compared to what the industry average is for sales to assets ratio, that's how everybody else is generating, assets with the same thing. Then it's your gross profit percentage, right? How are you doing compared to your goals or everybody else? Net profit the same way. So that's pretty standard. That's not secret sauce or anything like that. The other is just inventory. How much inventory do you need to keep up with sales? Most people go in and just kind of guess. They're like, oh, give me 10 of these and 15 of these and 25 of those. Well, there's an actual formula that you use to determine how much you need to just keep up with your sales volume. You don't need more than that. You don't need less because you'll run out, but you need the right amount. Then ARAP. So this isn't a secret sauce. It's just put in a visual way where you instantly see where you need to spend your time.
Alan, wow, that was insightful, Alan.
Great feedback. That was great feedback.
Wow, you know what? Mike went. Well, I've
no,
written 3
Mike,
books.
after
Now you
three and a
get.
half, no, after 3.5 years, I'm, Chris hardly ever lets me talk, and I'm just waiting for him to just jump all over that.
I was about
and
to
talk about you a little bit more.
I was
Because
going
we
to.
really
No, I
didn't
was.
talk about you that much on this episode.
Do we have?
You actually let me tell the whole Oprah story.
I know. I love that one, by the way.
Finally.
But, Alan, get back to Mike, shall we? Mike. All right, we keep going. We do this stuff. So, who are you engaging with? Who are your clients? Who are you working with mostly?
Yeah. So, I mean, mostly right now I'm working with advisors. So, accountants, bookkeepers, fractional CFOs, but I also work with business owners. I mean, early on, I just only worked with business owners. And then I decided that I could get better reach to more business owners if I went through their advisors, right? So, but if you're a business owner, I mean, there's a person that licensed my book called The 7 Minute Conversation. That's how to analyze your financial statements in 7 minutes or less. One person licensed it to make a contractor edition. So if you're a contractor, things like that, we've got specialists inside my community for that. Home services company. I work with one of the largest profit first and clear path to cash professionals in the country out of Idaho, Rath Drum, Idaho, of all places. She focuses and specializes on home services companies. Even has a podcast about it. So
Ooh, look at her, Idaho though. But there's not that many homes out there in Idaho. I got to talk to this girl because I got 6.2 million right here in Atlanta. We got plenty of homes to work on, but no, I love that. It's funny because I joke. Let me give you guys the inside joke. So in my mastermind group that I'm part of, you guys all know about this, or maybe you don't. One of the guys in my group has sold to a big, large private equity. They're rolling it up, and he says, "Hey, I was the biggest. I was the third biggest in Atlanta, and I just found somebody who is 15x me in Utah.
Utah.
This is garage doors, bro." And you're like, I didn't know there were that many homes in Utah. And he goes, no, this lady has dominated the market. And that's the thing. I don't care about Idaho because you look it up. Not a lot of people there. And a lot of people listen to this thing are all across the U.S., everywhere from Missouri to California. You're in Texas. We're up in North Carolina, New Jersey, New York. We got a lot of people in Illinois listening. It's just interesting when you think about that because, listen, man, it all kind of goes around, comes back together. So you're working on Profit First, working on the contractor edition. How do we find that contractor edition?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's one of my CPCPs, Clear Path to Cash Professionals. His name is Larry Weinstein. He is the cash flow cowboy out of Houston, Texas.
Cash Floyd.
Cash flow cowboy. Yeah, that's what he calls himself now.
I was thinking Floyd. I get a Floyd vibe.
It's the bourbon.
It is too. All right, dude, this has been awesome. Man, Mike, this has been cool stuff. How does everybody find you? Let's go get back to the normal. We talked about one of the books. You got three. How does everybody else find all your
Hey,
details?
best way to find me is cashflowmike.com, right? Cashflowmike.com. And I'll tell you what, right underneath, and when you ask me my perfect customer, it's the company that's pre-CFO. You're not quite big enough to have your own CFO on staff, but you still need help, right? So that's generally 15 million or less, I guess. I don't know what the number is, but if we put a number on it, that any business, because I teach agnostically, which means it works for all industries and all businesses. But right now, if you go to my website, cashflowmike.com, underneath the header video, right, the big thing says, "Hey, I'm Cashflow Mike," is a free course, and it's on the 7-minute conversation. It's a free video course. You get a spreadsheet. You get the digital copy of the book, the 7-minute conversation. You get all that for the low cost of an email address. That's all you get.
There you go.
Yeah,
Put it in, man.
go check it
At
out.
Cashflow Mike, spam you because I love that. I talk about this all the time. Is that I just want your email, but you know why? Because we stay top of mind that way, man.
Yep.
And this stuff sounds really good stuff that you want to be top of mind with, right?
Yeah, no, I love that whole niche of pre-CFO because there's a lot of companies out there who they really need a CFO and they actually can't afford to not have one. They think they can't afford to have one, but they can't afford to not have one. And
Yeah, good one.
you're the perfect bridge to that.
And you don't know when you know. That's a great point that we've talked about. It's like, well, no, I'm not big enough to have a CFO. Well, let's talk about this fractional CFO. And they go find somebody, and this person drops a huge number on them because they're not being truthful with who they are and what they're doing. And this gives you a great diagnostic of where you're
Did
at.
you just trash all fractional CFOs?
No, I didn't.
No, I think you did.
I'm actually trashing people like me in small business. And you're like, dude, I went and get that. Next thing you know, I'm going to grab somebody who's a fractional CFO for a Fortune 200 company. I can't afford those rates, and I'm not ready to move enough money around to really move the needle. Use this one as a self-diagnostic. Go take a look and then figure out your path. That's where I'm at, Alan. Am I
Well,
good?
you're good.
All right, thank you,
So the
Alan.
free 7-minute conversation.
Let's
That's what
do
they
the.
get on the website, right?
That's what we
Yeah,
get.
yeah, and I'll tell you what, you
Oh,
just talked about somebody doing a big number on you, like dropping a big number. Not going to do that because if you're not afraid to do some self-help, right? Use my video courses, use my stuff. If you're not afraid to come to some live coaching and get my help, ask me questions and get my help, but in a group setting, right? You don't have to say your company name or anything like that, but in a group setting, I need some help. Here's what's happening. If you're willing to do those two things, I've got courses, live coaching, and a software app that does all this for you for about $249 a month.
249 beats 4,000 a month.
Yeah.
So there you go. For 250 bucks a month, you get
there's
some
some
help.
good math, Chris.
You like
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Well,
That
I'm
is a
just
better number.
we've been talking about numbers, and I actually just had somebody throw that at me. I'm like, well, so I won't go into that guy's story because we're coming to the end. Guys, go check this thing out. It's definitely worth checking out. I mean, what's an email worth, right? Guys, go check it out. Let's figure it out. Figure out if that's for you. And
I think it sounds awesome.
now we got to get to our final 4 questions, though, Mike. You ready?
All right. Let's try it.
All right, here we go. What's
Let's
a
try
book
it.
you would recommend to our audience?
That you didn't write.
See,
Ah,
good one.
gotcha. Uh-oh.
I'm still a fan, and this is back from when I went to, well, I was at Baylor, right? Master's degree in Baylor. I still think Good to Great is a good one to start with.
Yeah,
Right?
agreed.
I mean, it's still the classic. It talks about where I take away from it is the concept of putting the right people on the bus. And Alan, you said it right. You hire for heart, right? If I can find the right person, the right fit, I'll create the job for that person, right? And figure out where we're going.
Mhm.
It's not about the job description first, unless you're a carpenter. I need you to be able to do carpentry stuff, or But mostly, I hire for heart and build the job around them. I don't get stuck to the job description I wrote 5 years ago.
My biggest part from that one is the flywheel. It's just, guys,
Yeah,
running a business, you're not going to be an influencer overnight. And definitely with Ellen and I's look, there's no reason we're going to be on TV anytime soon.
Not
So
remotely.
we will not be reality TV. You're not going to be an influencer. You're not going to make $1 million tomorrow. You're going to hear all these stories. It's all bullshit, right? It's 0.0001%. So it's good to great is a flywheel effect, right? You just got to every day get up, solve a problem, make it happen, keep going, keep moving forward. So
That's right.
that's one of the biggest ones for me on that one. All right, let's keep going. So let's go. What's the favorite feature of your house? Because I'm looking at some parts I like right now.
All right. Well,
He
this is the office. Matter of fact, it's getting ready. This whole thing is getting ready to be taken out. We're doing built-ins. This is going to become a speakeasy office, right? Yeah, I got my bourbon back there, a whole wall of it. We're
Now you doing
Cheers
it?
to
Wait,
that.
wait.
That's
A
what I'm looking at.
speakeasy
Your bourbon.
speakeasy in your own house. So how's that going to work? Is it going to be like a hidden door to
I
get
just
in?
I won't tell Courtney where it is.
Oh, okay.
Solid. Brother, we're coming. We're in San Antonio. Alan and I get an invite,
I
right?
love Texas. I love San Antonio.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
have not been.
You
I got
haven't?
this in a,
Oh, it's a great town. Great
Well,
golf there too, buddy.
I'm gonna I'm gonna be
Great
there.
food.
I'm
Food.
gonna-
Oh, food is amazing.
yeah.
make sure you look me up if y'all come.
Oh,
All right, we're
100%.
doing it.
Sure you look me
All
up.
right.
All right.
So one of the things that we're kind of very passionate about, we've talked about customer service, but we're kind of working it way into it this way. But Alan and I are kind of customer service.
Freaks.
We're kind of crazy about this.
Yeah.
What's a customer service pet peeve of yours when you're out there and you're the customer?
When I'm the customer,
Mhm.
meaning,
What
okay, so I'm receiving it.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, you've been in the restaurant business, which is an easy pick, but pick something different.
All right, so I'm not giving customer service. I'm
No,
receiving.
No,
getting-
you're receiving customer service and it drives you nuts.
And it
when
just
it's happening.
absolutely pisses you right the F off.
Yeah, I think it's vague, being too vague with me. Right. What I mean by that is if I ask a question and you can't answer it, you don't know the answer, you can't do it. I mean, I get really frustrated with like going, oh, why don't you know this? This is part of your job, right? I don't say that to them, but I mean, that they should know what their job is.
This is a great one because there are two schools of thought. It was easier. It was either easier to sell in the 1960s and 70s, or it's easier to sell now. If it's easier in the 60s and 70s, you didn't know the cars you were up against. So when somebody came in, I could spew a whole line of bullshit and you'd have no idea. But you might buy the car because I was full of shit. Today, if you come in and you ask me about this car and I spew a whole line of bullshit and you're like, but the internet said it's this, this, and this, and this, and that. But if you don't know your subject matter when somebody comes to you and you're just a sales guy trying to spew shit, you're gone, man. You're gone. So vague does not win. Being a bullshitter, it does not.
Well, and
win.
I think I think what you're saying is somebody trying to pretend like they know what they're talking about, as opposed to just owning, hey, you know what? That's a really good question. Let me find out and get back to you. You would have tolerance for that.
Yeah, I think he called it right with bullshit, right?
Thank you, Alan.
Well,
Bullshit.
no, I mean, but I mean,
Come
I
on,
see
Mike.
where-
I thought
see
you were
where
on my
Alan's going.
team.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, I am. I'm agreeing with you. Yeah, I would rather somebody say I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't get it, or rather than dance around and try to lead me down a path. Today's buyer is educated, right? They just
Agreed.
are, right? So you got to be prepared to talk to an educated buyer every single time.
Agreed. All right, let's talk about this one. I love working on homes. That's why I got in this business. I'm a handyman, a reconstruction guy, do a lot of remodeling. Give us a DIY nightmare story.
I'm still living it. All right, so Courtney asked me to do a what's that wall called? The wall thing where I don't know, you don't even know what it's called, but you make like squares out of it, so it looks like a
So you're doing your own trim on your wall in your dining room or something,
just-
like an accent wall.
accent wall. All right, so she wants an accent wall in the bedroom. All right, I'm like, oh, I can do that. So I do it. Everything's perfect except for the fact I didn't really measure correctly because I put up some plywood as kind of the base, right? But some really, what's that, 1/8, or I don't know. You guys know all this stuff.
I got it.
Right. So I got that. And then I got the 1x4s. I think it's 1x4s. And we kind of cut those into squares. And I did perfect math on the squares. Everything is perfect as far as she didn't want partial squares. She wanted full squares. So I did perfect math there. What I didn't do was adjust for the seams of the plywood behind it. All right. So I got plywood stacked like this. Well, what the professional would have done is make sure that the 1x4 covered that seam and I wouldn't have the problem. Guess what Mike has now? Mike has like a line across where it's separated because he didn't cover it and hide it like a
Mike's
normal
gonna have to
program.
mud it, right?
Well, you know what? Mike's gonna have to tell
can't mud it.
Courtney that's called the love line, baby. That's the love line. So you could use that one. It's called character.
Yeah, I just said, every time we have adult activities, that thing pops open. I've tried to caulk it.
See,
I've
it's a
tried to
love
caulk it.
line,
I tried
baby.
to mud it.
It's a love line. There you go. I love DIY. You know what? That's actually one of my favorite stories. There are so many times I had that one and I did not use my line. So yes, I've had a lot of other ones, but that's a good one. Guys, go figure it out. Mike, how can we all find you?
Again, cashflowmike.com. Go get that free course and learn more about your business in 7 minutes than you knew all year.
All right, man. We got to keep making it happen every week, every day, every hour, every morning. Get up, solve a problem, come figure this thing out. Let's go make it happen. We got to get out of here and go make it happen.
Cheers, everybody.